Hey, good evening, everybody. Jesse Klingensmith with ABUS USA. Welcome to Lockboss, hashtag Lockboss. Excited to be here with PJ for episode 4.3. So
that's what we're talking about. How is Jesse doing today over there at ABUS?
I'm good. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. So we've got 75-degree day. It's fully sunny. I can't complain. Sorry to everybody back east that's suffering right now. So.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, if you got the weather, you got the weather, right? That's just how it works.
Yes, exactly. I like it here.
Very cool. But hey, thanks for hopping on. I'm really excited to talk about all things ABUS. And I really just want to first start off with a product that you had actually sent me a while back. And I'm glad we finally got around to kind of talking about it. And I just wanted to kind of highlight it. For of course, people watching the show work with locks and keys. That's what makes them lock bosses. And so I know that if they have not seen this padlock yet, I think they're going to absolutely love it. So let me go ahead and bring it to the stage here. All right. So Jesse, can you tell everybody what we're looking at right here?
So we are looking at the Iron Rock. This is the 100th anniversary padlock ABUS released last year in 2024. So ABUS was established by August Bremiker in a cellar of his house in 1924. And the original Iron Rock is what put him on the map. So the image you see on the outside of the box is designed to look exactly like it, same as the image you see on the lock. That is our 8345 lock, as everybody knows it today. The classic rekeyable, change the shackle, change the cylinder style lock. But we customized it, turned it in, made the fancy design, and made it mimic the original padlock that put ABUS on the map. That's what ABUS stands for, is August Bremiker und Sons. And that's the one that got it all started. So
say that one more time with the name. I missed ABUS, or is it?
Yeah, it's August Bremiker und Sons. It just stands for August Bremiker and Sons.
Never knew that. That's cool.
There you go. We're 101 years old, and the Bremiker family still owns the company. So it's a good company to work for. They make good products, and happy to be a part of the team.
Very cool. Well, yeah. Now, so you sent me this lock here a while ago, and I remember opening it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this actually is it has this nice fancy box. I love that. I'm guessing, can I get it to show in my camera here? I love that ABUS logo up there. Do you know, was that like the original logo, or?
That was like the original stuff right there. Yes, sir. You've got it.
That's really cool looking.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I like the vintage look. It's always, and kids these days with all the vintage stuff, so it's pretty cool. And it's a nice little collector's piece if you're somebody that collects locks, which I know a lot of us are.
It really is. So here it is. So it's a fully functional padlock, and it comes underneath here, and they call it ABUS calls it the 500 key. And yes. I did go grab a Y1, and the Y1 fits in it.
Yep, exactly.
Let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, so it's fully functional. It's a thing of absolute beauty, isn't it? Now, is someone able to, I haven't done it yet, take out the padlock or the shackle here, or excuse me, the shackle or the cylinder and replace it? Like, is it fully functional?
It's fully functional. It's just like the 8345. The only difference is it's got the fancy engraving on it. But yeah, if you wanted to pull it out and put an aftermarket cylinder in it, you just need the K&K adapter and Bible kit, because you're going to go from the OEM style cylinder to an aftermarket. Yep. And it'll slide right in and work just the same. Or if you have the original ABUS cylinders that you've swapped out of other padlocks, it could slide right in there as well. And then you could change it to many of our different shackle options if you wanted to actually use it in the field.
That's awesome. Yeah, this thing is absolutely beautiful. Now, for everyone watching, what are you guys thinking of this? Are you just as impressed as I was when I opened it up? And I mean, I'm loving, look at the box, the presentation on it here, the whole thing. I was just like, man, I really like it. And so I'm going to be keeping this one for myself, but it's like, what do I do with it? Like, it's so nice. Like, I'm going to have to.
Mine sits on my desk.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that the box is so cool and form-fitting that it's like you don't really want to, I don't want to throw it away, right?
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I mean, I've got mine sitting.
I just have to keep it as it is. I wonder. I'll have to think of something fun to do with it. Because
And these come keyed. Most of our locks, when you order them from ABUS, they'll come 0 bitted. If you do order an iron rock, they do come keyed differently. So
yeah,
it actually has a cut key with it, so you can use it if you wanted.
Yeah. See, I mean, how do you think that'd look on a necklace? You know, wearing that around. You know, outside of a neck strain, do you think the neck strain would be worth it?
You know, something like that, it probably would be. It's a good looking lock. I mean, you don't see many padlocks in your eyes like, oh, that is actually really cool looking.
Yes. You know, I'm thinking. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to try my best the next
Hook it on with some ABUS chain.
The next time TJ, who's our sales rep, comes to visit, I'm gonna try to have this thing hanging from my neck when he shows up. You know, he'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I know him and I are planning on making another trip out your way, hopefully late March. So maybe we can arrange it then.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so that's a really awesome, really cool lock. It's really worth the money. It's really cool. And, you know, there's not, Jesse, tell me if I'm wrong here, but is there a lot of different commemorative style padlocks in the market in general, really? I don't know of any.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, every now and then I'll run across an antique, right? And it's, you know, truly something old and vintage, but it's rare that you come into something that's new and modern with all the modern features and technology that has that old school vibe and design to it. It's the only one I'm aware of. They brought it out for the 100-year anniversary, and it was a great idea. And they gave all the employees of ABUS one, and they had us bring in a little inventory in the case we had some folks like yourself that were interested in having some nice padlocks sitting on your desk.
Absolutely. And is this something that at some point when like you guys run out, like no more are being made, or is this?
Correct. Yep. When we run out, no more are being made. I believe we still have some inventory we could pull from our German brethren, but other than that, yeah, it's no longer being manufactured.
Okay. So kind of when it's done, it's done.
Pretty much. Yes, sir.
Until, I mean, I guess we're going to have to hang around for what, the 200-year anniversary?
Yeah, I would imagine that'd probably be the next time they do one. And I think we'll all be bionic at that point if we're still around.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, cool. All right. So next up, Jesse, I want to talk about is a newer product that has recently come out, which is the Cable Shackle for the 8345 padlock.
Yes, sir.
So this thing is what, 15 inches?
It is. It measures like 17.7 from end to end, but yeah, the loop is about 15 inches when it's fully engaged in the lock.
Yeah, look at this.
It's a 5/16 diameter. So if you're using one of our larger 83 series that takes a 3/8 shackle or the 5/16 shackle, it's not going to work. It is only for the 5/8.
Awesome. Yeah. So actually, Jesse, is what I did here is I actually grabbed a 8345 padlock here. And I figured it'd be fun to take a minute and just swap this thing out here really quick. So, and I was playing around with it and I thought it was pretty interesting. So is what I'll do here. So how you'll replace the shackle with this cable shackle is going to be essentially the same way you would do any, right, Jesse?
Yeah. It's a slight difference with the cable shackle is you're going to have to pull you know how the shackle has a spring assist? Yeah. You're going to have to pull the spring out when you remove the shackle. That way you got enough room to get that full post seated down in the lock.
That's exactly right, because I was doing this last week and I was like, actually, I'll show you here. Let me
get that Z-bar out of there.
That Z-bar out of there. There we go. And let me get this in here. So I got my little shackle change tool. I'm just going to pop this out here. Okay. And essentially is what was happening. So there's two ends. There's this longer end, and I'm trying to hold this at the same time. And then there's a shorter end that has an arrow on it right here. The arrow goes, that's the part that goes lock, unlock on the side, and the other side you put in. But what I was doing is I took this long side and I was putting it in, long hole here, and I was putting it in here. And I was pushing with all my might. And I'm like, I cannot, you can see where it needs to get in here. I'm like, it will not go in.
Right.
And then I pulled it out and I set it right here. And I was like, oh, look at that. Like, there's a reason. So I'm like, I wonder if you take out the spring.
And in case anybody's wondering, it comes polybagged just like you see here. There are no instructions, so you just got to know or figure it out.
Yep, you either have to just know or you got to figure it out. That's right. So then, oops, what are we doing here? Let's see.
Yep, just slide that ball bearing back in there, and you should be good to roll.
We should be good to go here. You know, Jesse, one of the
I need to upgrade your shackle change tool. You need to get one of these premiums with the little post.
You know,
that makes it so much easier.
We were down to one in stock, and so I didn't want to take that out.
I'll get you a couple sent out there.
So, okay. So by taking the spring out, right, now we have it installed, and now it's just going to operate just like a normal padlock. As you can see there. And look at that. Look how much clearance there is here. I mean, you name the application, the fence, the piece of equipment, the chain, whatever you want to put it on. It really gives you a lot of options, doesn't it?
Yeah. And just to recap, 5/16 diameter. So as long as it's your standard 83/45, it's going to work in there, no problem. It's only available in the 5/16 diameter. So if you're using like the 8350 or the 8355, that shackle is not going to work. And then just so you know, we just came out with a 4-foot version as well.
Oh, 4 foot?
Yeah, a 4-foot cable shackle for that thing. So you think of the application and you tell me what you're going to use it for. I mean, outdoor patio furniture at a restaurant, there's so many different things you could use it for. And with this app setup too, you can lock cable to cable to where you can lock 2 different locks together. You can do a lot of neat stuff with it. So it's one of those things where you guys come up with the application and send it to me so I can regurgitate it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So a couple questions here.
I see this cut strength. It's a braided steel. So you can obviously get through a braided steel, but it's definitely got some cut resistance, and it's got the laminating on it as well to make it a little more resistant to cutting. But it's not going to be a high security type of matter.
Yeah. So I mean, it's your standard. I mean, it's coated, and it's about what you would expect when it comes to a cable.
Yep, exactly.
Very good. Let me see here. It is coated, cut strength. Talked about that. People are asking about ordering it like in different sizes. Can you get it shorter than this? Like, is there anything besides this in 4 feet?
Currently, we only have the 2 sizes available.
Okay.
So if it's something that comes up and you need an odd size and you need a lot of them, I can always take it back to the engineers and the manufacturing and see what they could do. But if it's onesie twosies, they're gonna be like, come on guys, we have minimums. So yeah, but we can always look at adding, and that's part of the reason the 4-foot came into play is because ABUS is really big in Australia with the 83 series lock as well. And so they had brought in that 4-foot cable for some application out there. I'm not even sure what it was for. And we decided, heck, we'd support it as well. So any options we can bring in for the 83, we're excited to do. It's a very functional, very modular lock, and people always like to have options and stick with the same keying and house key, residential key, commercial key, whatever you're using. So
sure, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a cool option. And I mean, really the only difference between a normal shackle change and using with this one is just making sure you got that spring out.
That's right. It. That's the only difference. Yes, sir. Because you don't need that spring assist on that cable.
You do not. You do not. Well, very cool. Yeah. So these are really the 2 main items I was wanting to kind of show everybody and kind of talk through and with you about. Let me get rid of this camera view here. There we go.
I got a new shackle that we just came out with that I haven't got you a sample of yet. We call it our Max Shackle, and it is also designed for the 83/45. It's going to be your same 5/16 diameter. It's going to be available in, let me pull it up real quick, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, or 4 foot inch shackle clearances. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 foot shackle clearances, and it's our new Max Shackle. And what we did was we compared it with the leading competitor in the market, and this comes back with a higher torque resistance, a higher cutting resistance, and a higher tensile strength. So it's one of the toughest shackles on the market today. It just came out. It's an option for the 83 series. So if you have a market to where you're having issues with shackles actually getting cut in the field, we can upgrade it to an ABUS MAX Shackle, and it'll be much more difficult to get through. Bolt cutter proof. And
do you have one like? Does it look the same, or what does it look like?
It looks exactly the same. The only difference is instead of it saying, this one here says Nano Protect, The new ones say Max, so you know you've got a Max shackle. It's visually, we made sure it was visually to where you can visually see it, and then because other than that, if it was saying the same thing, you'd have no idea. Especially if you swapped them up in inventory, it'd be a mess. So they say Max on them, 1, 2, 3, and 4 inch, and it's just the 5/16 diameter for right now.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it's a perfect example. Of course, like any lock mechanism, there's going to be some failure points, right? One being the key system, the other being the shackle. And it sounds like, the shackle, if people are running into situations where they need something more secure or it's a problem that they've been facing, it sounds like it's a pretty good solution. Yeah. Although it does make me want to get a pair of bolt cutters with both of them and try myself. I've never actually tried.
Yeah, definitely. Next time I come up and see, I'll make sure I got a shackle and some chain. You supply the bolt cutters, and we'll have some fun in the warehouse.
Now we're talking, guys. Man, we'll have to live stream this. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really
heck.
Cool.
I'll try and even make sure we're on a Tuesday for you. How about that?
Okay. Hey, it's getting better by the minute,
Yeah, but new product, we're very innovative in Europe. We do access control, intrusion, smoke alarms, fire alarms, you name it. A lot of that stuff does not come to the United States. We're primarily padlock focused here. So when these new features and options come available to us, we try and jump on it. And this was a need generated by an end user. They came to us and said, this is what we're using. It's far too expensive. We want to use your stuff. We love your price point. We just need your shackle to be stronger. So we took that as a challenge, and we met and exceeded all expectations. So
really, well, I think that's the cool part. Like when you really think about what makes the 8345 series so valuable, right? It's almost like if a padlock was a Swiss Army knife, right? Because you have all the different keyways you could imagine as far as the cylinders go. They fit standard pins. There's really nothing special you need. And then at the same time, there's a couple different finishes or materials you can buy it in, depending on the application you need. And then there's all the different shackles that are available as well. And now even the Cable Shackles and the Max, right? And so
and then don't forget the engraving. I mean, if you send us a logo, we can put the logo right on the lock. Wherever you want, front, back, side to side. We can do any type of engraving. We do it right in house. If you just want, letters and numbers, obviously no problem. But if you want something fully customized for your lock shop or for your end user customer, it's a relatively inexpensive upcharge. The lead times only adds about a week to the lead times. Our lead times are usually about a week or two. So we can get your product very quickly and have it fully customized, shackled, keyed, engraved, however you want it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, it's really just the right thing to do it. They are asking, what is the upcharge to engrave on them?
So we have a net ad we charge to distribution, and then they mark it up from there. But it's usually about $1.50 per side per lock is going to be the maximum upcharge you will pay. So that means if you want the front and the back engraved, it would be a $3 roughly upcharge, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the distributor and how they do their markups when they do the non-stock special order stuff, because there's a little paperwork involved. But it's relatively inexpensive. We have no setup fees. The only time we charge a setup fee is if we actually have to physically convert a file, like a JPEG file, over to a vector format file, then we charge a $25 setup fee. But other than that, if you can provide us the correct file, there's no setup fee, and then there's no minimums. Sure, we'd like you to order hundreds and hundreds, but if you're only needing, a box of 6, we can definitely accommodate.
Yeah, is there a minimum? Do you know?
No, I mean, if you wanted one lock engraved, we'd do it.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it really just has the whole thing around there. Yeah, and they're saying that charge is very reasonable to do that for sure.
And then I saw a question come in when we first got started about an American keyway. Yes, we have the American keyway available in the 83 series. We have the Master M1 keyway available in the 83 series amongst all your other standard keyways that we've historically offered. And with those, you just need your typical pinning kits you would use for those type of cylinders, and it pins up the same way.
Okay. Yeah. And do you know off the top of your head what the code is for the American keyway?
Oh, we just call it AL. So you know how we have the -300 for Schleg, the -306 for 6-pin. We would do a -AL for American, and we would do -M1 for your Master M1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we, I don't, off memory, I don't think we stock the American keyway.
It's not, It's not a super common request, but you know, when you're cross keying, so like a laminated style padlock, I can put the M1 keyway right into this lock. I have several key codes stocked. And then if I needed to put, you know, an M1 into this thing so we could key them alike, say this is on your job box and this is on your office gate and you want it all keyed alike, we could do that for you, put it all in the M1 keyway and you're good to roll. Different styles of locks, same keying, same functionality.
Sure.
So
absolutely. Well, yeah, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing. Do you have anything else for us?
One last thing I would like to show is our shackle collar. This is a little bitty collar. PJ, have I showed you the shackle collar before?
No.
Sweet. So real quick, it slides onto, it goes for your, we have it in 3 different sizes. Your 5/16, we have it in a 3/8, and we have it in a 7/16. So depending on the size of shackle, I have a collar to accommodate. The idea behind this collar is to permanently fix chain to the padlock without needing to weld the chain to the padlock. Because what happens when you do that, you're weakening the metal of you're weakening your brass, you're weakening the metal of your chain, or if you welded the shackle, you're weakening the metal of the shackle. And then also you're going to get corrosion and rust and stains dripping down your concrete. So we've created this collar to work in conjunction with our chain and our 83 series of padlocks. And it's the same idea, guys. You just take the lock, you pop out the cylinder. Let's see if I can do this as fast as PJ did. Yeah. And I don't have a pinning mat, so if everything goes flying, I'm in trouble. I'm using a key blank directory as my pinning mat. I'm sure every one of you got one of those nearby.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I dropped the cylinder. I've made sure the Z-bar's out. That's important before we go shoving that shackle change tool in there because we don't want to wear out that bolt driver in there. So I'm going to pop the shackle, maybe. Boom. Got the shackle out. Ball bearing still there. So now I've got the shackle off. So to make the chain stay on the lock, I'm going to slide on the collar and I'm going to slide on the chain. This collar is so tight, it will not physically make the pass of the U on your shackle. So when you go and reinstall your shackle, you permanently fix it to the lock. So let me get my shackle change tool in here.
That is awesome.
We do the chain in multiple different gauges and multiple different lengths. The chain also cannot be cut with bolt cutters. We use a special cutting tool in-house to cut through it. We keep it stocked in 2, 6, and 10-foot lengths, as well as buckets. We'll cut it to whatever length you need. We can do it with the custom security sheath or without the sheath. And like I said, we have 5 different gauges. This is our 8KS, we call it, and I think it's perfect for the 1-inch shackle clearance. So there you have it.
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to make the pass, and it's permanently fixed.
Okay, so I have a couple questions on that really quick. So number one, like when I'm looking at that, obviously that ring is fit to be a diameter for your chain that you can't pull it over.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely. Yep. And when you're working with this, like I said, I usually recommend the 8KS chain just because it's a good size, good thickness, and it's very versatile. And when you put it in conjunction with that, with your 1-inch shackle, you're in great shape. And that, perimeter security, locks walk away, they don't get relocked. This just ensures at least you've got your chain and your lock. It's all together. It's baby steps, right? Security is all layered in baby steps. So it's just another way to alleviate needing to weld. I was talking to a school district the other day and they had hundreds of locks down at the welding department. And they were welding on the welder to weld the chain to the padlock. And I'm like, call and cancel and just buy this little collar right here because they were already using their lock. And I was like, done. Called and canceled and boom, bought some collars and on to the next one.
Yeah, that's really cool too. That like all the clearances work out. And you said even on the 1-inch shackle, it'll work.
Yep. So this is the 8KS. I have a smaller gauge, the 6KS, but either one will work perfectly. I prefer the 8KS because it's a little thicker. And like I said, that 1-inch clearance still fits perfectly on there. So
that's really cool. Yeah. So I need to, we currently, Julio or Kylie, if you're watching or listening, we need to send me a note or something because I want to make sure that we get those added. That's a great thing. And the truth is, oh yeah. And then, the truth is something like as you're doing that, I'm like, well, what happens if there's already an existing application that they want to put the chain to, that want to buy a chain? It's like, you could really affix a small washer over,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's multiple ways to do it. This is just going to be our hardened steel. So it's going to be what we consider a little more secure. But yeah, literally doesn't necessarily have to be our chain. And yeah, you could seriously be a washer. I mean, with the modularity of our locks, it makes it that much easier to come up with these types of things. So.
Yes. Yeah. That's a really cool thing. I did not even know you were going to be bringing that up, and I am here for it.
Well, good. So, I'm glad I surprised you.
Yes. Hey, you know what? Since you're on a roll, you have something else for us too, or?
That's really all I had highlighted today. Kind of like I brought up the laminated before. We've always had a laminated lock. We've just put more of an emphasis on accommodating all the laminated style keyways you normally see. So, the market leader in these guys will shall remain nameless. But when there's an M1 key, who it probably belongs to. So what we do is we got certain biddings in stock ready to go on some of your most popular laminated styles. And then we can accommodate and key to any of your keyways. So the biggest difference on going from any other brand of laminated to us is we're going to dip each plate for corrosion. We're going to put the lock together, and then we're going to dip the entire lock for corrosion. So our competitors dip once, we dip approximately 15 to 25 times, depending on the size of the lock.
Interesting. Okay, so now, let's do this. Let's pretend that I currently use a lock, a laminated lock, and I use a lot of them. And let's pretend that the name is kind of like Gaster. Okay. And you have your padlock that you're trying to convince me, why should I go from the Gaster lock to an ABUS?
Exactly. And that's where I'm just going to go straight to the quality. I'm going to talk to you about the corrosion resistance, because the problem with your laminated style locks, as most of you are probably aware, they're going to corrode from the inside out. Whether it's water and moisture from you guys in the Northeast to where I live, it's dust, right? Probably worse is the dust. So they corrode from the inside out. So when you only dip this entire lock once for corrosion resistance, you still have all these gaps. So before we even think about putting this lock together, each plate gets dipped for corrosion. And as you can see, that's why the colors aren't uniform, is because each individual plate's gone through its own anodizing treatment. So it's all been, or not anodized, but it's corrosion treatment. So it's all been treated, and then we put the full lock together and then dip the entire lock. So yes, the other brand you'd mentioned, or it's gonna corrode in a few months, where ours is going to take years to have those similar issues.
Okay. Yeah, sure. And then how about the key, the brass key cylinder in there, that sort of thing?
Yep. Nickel plated brass, mushroom pins throughout the cylinder, your standard key, as you would expect. The key number's on here. This one's keyed to a 2006, if that rings a bell to anybody.
Okay. I think I have a couple Gasters on that. That same key.
Exactly. So that's the idea behind it. Make it easy to move people over to a much higher quality lock. You're not having to wait for our lead time to go through production. We have several keyways, several biddings available. If it's something we don't have available, we can put it through production and put it together for you, no problem. These are not rekeyable in the field, just like the other guys. It is just your straight laminated style, popular M1 keyway with a bunch of different biddings ready to go on the shelf. And then we have the capability of accommodating any other bidding you guys need.
Awesome. Okay. So, you kind of have me convinced, but let's talk about one other aspect of it, right? So I'm everything I heard sounds good. How much cheaper are they than Gaster?
And see, we're not the low cost leader. We're probably 10% higher. On a lock like that, we're talking less than $1. So, if it's a competitive bid situation, PJ, and you've got a client that's got a huge opportunity for us to convert some business, we're happy to take a look at it and see if we can get right down in that ballpark. That's one of the things, ABUS we're good at is, we want to work with guys like yourself. We want to work with the locksmith. We want to make it easy, but we also, sometimes there's keying involved, lots of customization involved, and we try and make it easy for everybody. So that's the main thing, is just trying to keep it simple, trying to keep it quick, and then trying to make it, just easy to deal with this. High quality products is what we're known for. We always want to stick to that. And that's why we're not constantly releasing new things, because we want to make sure they meet our standards and guidelines as well.
Awesome. Well, yeah. It seems like a really good alternative for a laminated padlock. If you have certain keys you're kind of locked into, but you're looking for a little, it's just a little more, right?
Especially like for instance, a school district, right? I was meeting with a guy that uses laminated locks, and I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm changing these out 3 months, 6 months. And I'm like, well, I've got an option for you, and you can use your same existing keys that you have dispatched all over the field. And he says, okay, well, let's try it out. So send them out, after 6 months, no issues. And it's just like, okay, well, conversion done. They speak for themselves. And that's the thing about ABUS. I mean, we stand behind our products. I'm big on sampling, folks. If it's something, if we've got an opportunity to win some business or convert some business, we'll go after it, and our products speak for themselves. So.
Absolutely. Now, next time I'm in the Phoenix area, what are the odds I can get a warehouse tour like that?
Oh, yeah. Anytime you want, man. Next time you're down here, we'll make it work. Even if I'm not here, I got people at the office that'd be more than happy to show you around.
And I've been heard, and we don't have to necessarily talk about it today, but I have heard through the grapevine that you guys have some really awesome key machines, that you use internally.
Yes. You know what? The names are slipping my mind because they're some of the big ones. One of them, it's a freaking robot. I've never seen anything like it in a regular lock shop. It's only in a manufacturing facility.
Yes.
It's super cool. And then we also have an engraving machine I couldn't even put a price tag on this thing. It's amazing. And it's got these big trays, and we load in all these locks, and it's all computerized, and it's pretty wild. So yeah, I'll get you on a tour back there, and I'll get you with one of the guys that actually gives the tours and knows exactly what the machinery is and all that good stuff. But yeah, we've got about 14 locksmiths back there just pinning away, changing shackles, engraving locks, cutting keys, you name it. So it's pretty intense.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Like I said, I've heard about the machines through the grapevine, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got to see these going in real life.
Yeah. And I know they're trying to add another one to the collection, and I'm just like, you guys do your thing. My locksmithing days are far behind me, so I stay clear of that place. I'm like, I'm just going to mess something up.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Well, perfect. Yeah. Jesse, it's been great having you on and hanging out, and man, lots of good info today. Lots of good info.
Well, good. I'm glad I could help. Hopefully everybody picks something up, and yeah, if you guys ever need anything from me, reach out to PJ, reach out to myself, and we'll get you taken care of.
Awesome. Well, very good, Jesse. Well, hey, thanks again. Have a good evening. And I guess I'll be seeing you in person here before too long, but I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And #Lockboss.
All right. Sounds good.
See you guys.
Thanks. We'll see you.